Security represents the best of what America is.
When I was taking care of my father, and at that time I was also receiving Social Security. He was 96 when he died, and he'd done pretty well up to that point. But his private corporate retirement, remember when those years were, was starting to go. With those reductions, Social Security kicked in and was able to provide a stable funding base that just simply wouldn't have been there if the only thing he had was a private pension.
We're a small business. We pay just above minimum wage. Employees aren't putting away savings. So the more I actually learned about Social Security, specifically for this event, the more I realized I'd learned before it was a great program, makes a lot of sense, benefits all Americans, but to folks that work in the food sector, make a minimum wage or just above, it's vital.
My grandmother lived alone. She had 8 children, and my grandmother was very independent. She was independent for one reason. She got every month what she called her old age pension check. Now I've come to learn that this old age pension check that allowed her independence was Social Security.
The nonprofit I work for, United Spinal Association, got really hit hard by the recession, and I got laid off in May of 2008. So I had, my disability had gotten worse, and I just decided rather than apply for unemployment, I took a letter I had from my doctor to my local Social Security office, and the specialist there encouraged me to apply based on that letter from my doctor, which I had needed for another purpose.
Social Security is not a competition that pits one generation against another. It is a covenant between generations that helps provide economic security to workers and their families.
Social Security means a lot of things to me, especially since my grandfather passed away. It helps my grandma with the basic things, but it also means that I can do things that, other kids can do.
Social Security doesn't allow its recipients to get rich. Social Security only allows people to make it in life, and sometimes just barely.
My daughter's total income is under $700 a month, and she barely ekes out being able to meet her expenses. And Social Security, she only gets a small amount of Social Security, but that little bit, every little bit counts, because when you're on the edge, you can't afford to have even a small amount taken away from you.
I began receiving Social Security 5 years ago, but I am not living on Social Security. I am saving it. You see, when I do retire, the only money I would have to live on is my Social Security, which is $1,188 a month, just over $14,000 a year, plus whatever I've been able to save on my own. I had an IRA I have been putting money into, but I lost most of it in the stock market crash in 2008. Social Security is my lifeline. I can't imagine what I will do without it.
The part of this issue that really got to me is the raising the retirement age, because it's people like me who sit at a desk and conceivably work, as long as we stay healthy, and probably will stay more healthy later into our 70s, but folks who do manual labor can't. And I want specifically these 2 employees and other future employees to be able to retire with dignity.
These multimillionaires, and in some cases billionaires, think it's a great idea to cut benefits for working people when they get the Social Security age. They want to raise the retirement age. Now think of those guys who are banging nails today at 70 years of age, banging nails. I don't think so.
Can you imagine saying to someone who is in your situation that they should wait until they're 70 to collect the Social Security check?
I just think that's the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard of in my life. No, I can't imagine it. It's just, I just think it's wrong.
I want every senator to understand that there are real people out there who stand to lose a lot if Congress reduces those benefits. I'm glad to see that some senators today will stand up for families that depend on Social Security. We've got to stand with those senators and support their efforts to protect these important benefits.
Because the power is not here, the power is with us. And when we see what's happening with the Social Security program, we're going to tell them to back off, and they're going to listen.
We're going to stand up, hands off Social Security.
Hands off of Social Security, back off of Social Security.
Tell Congress, hands off Social Security.
Okay.